odds have come out of who can become the next head coach of the Carolina Panthers. On that list is Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson at plus 950.
Don't like that.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't like it. And what makes it a little bit more scarier is David Tepper, the owner of the North Carolina Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, had come out and said he wants an offensive mind to lead this team with the next regime.
Yeah, I would too.
Like initially, I would dismiss this immediately, right? Because Ben Johnson hasn't been an offensive coordinator for a whole season yet.
Yes.
But then I sat back a little bit. Ben Johnson, I don't know if you guys know this, he's a walk-on quarterback for North Carolina. So I'm sure there's some ties there, just in the community and state in itself. 2, Mike McDaniel was only offensive coordinator for 1 year under the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
Then become the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, which looked pretty damn good up until all the injuries happened with them. And even honestly, still competing with a third-string quarterback at times. Then I do feel a little bit more nervous at this point.
Yeah, it makes me a little nervous. You don't like to see him come up in that situation. Hopefully it's Kellen Moore. Just go take Kellen Moore. He used to play for the Lions, so it's kind of close. But you look at the Panthers, and they have the worst offense in the NFL. They're averaging 260 yards a game, only 90 yards on the ground with Christian McCaffrey. They're only averaging 17.2 points per game. So it makes sense that they want an offensive mind. It makes sense that they want to bring someone in there that's going to help Baker Mayfield be better. I wouldn't want the job personally if I'm a top offensive coordinator. I'm like, nah, I'm good on Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Jets legend Sam Darnold. But you look at what they're doing in Carolina. They're going to fire sale everybody, is what they're talking about. So you expect them to get rid of Christian McCaffrey. You expect them to trade Brian Burns, Derek Brown. So what is a head coach going to be walking into there? I don't know if Ben Johnson is going to be that hot of a commodity to where he's already going to be getting a job, like you said, after a month, his first month of being a coordinator in the NFL. But it's scary to see him on that graphic. I mean, it makes me feel good because, okay, we were right about this guy. This guy knows what he's doing. But, man, first I don't want to lose him because, man, I don't think Dan Campbell, man, can do the same thing, man. If we lose Ben Johnson, man, we might be right back next year to being 3-13 again, man. So that scares me. Losing Ben Johnson scares me. It really does. Because who would replace him? Who would you get? Is Hank Fraley? Is it Deuce Staley? I don't know about if those guys are the X's and O's kind of guys that Ben Johnson is. They're that kind of analytic, offensive genius is what he's called.
No one in this coaching staff is what Ben Johnson is.
Yeah. So
Ben Johnson, even when I looked up to see, obviously found out went to North Carolina as a walk-on as a quarterback, dude studied mathematics and computer science. Dude is literal, borderline, genius in a way. I mean, you look at it too. Before you say look at Mike McDaniel and he became the head coach after 1 year. Well, it's because he went to the NFC Championship. We were saying with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
And same sentiment. Ben Johnson took a bottom 10 offense in the Detroit Lions and took him the top 3 the following year.
Yes.
Now the season obviously hasn't played itself out, and we still have to see what that entails. But nonetheless, night and day difference with him under the helm. And we saw even just again, I always say this all the time, just a little sprinkle of him. Intricate on the offense last year, and we saw them come alive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you see him get a little bit of power, like you said last year. You see him install a little bit of a game plan of situational awareness, and that offense popped off, and Amon-Ra popped off. And we're like, where the hell was this guy all year? Why the hell was Anthony Lynn not using him like this? Because Ben Johnson knew what he was doing. Ben Johnson put him in situations to where he can succeed, to where he can excel as a player. So Lions fans will hate to see Ben Johnson go, and the Detroit Lions as an organization cannot let that happen.